Moroka Swallows supporter who's leading a team to rescue and reposition the fallen Dube Birds. Lesufi said that they have already started with consultative process to pave the way forward. And Panyaza Lesufi joined me in the studio. Good morning, sir, and welcome to AM News.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
So I'm sure now I can't call you MEC. I can now call you Panyaza Wale Swai.
It's true. It's true.
Share with us in details the plan that you have going forward in repositioning and saving swallows.
Well, we're quite excited with the developments, to be quite frank. What happened is that we felt that the days of having somebody to come and invest in a team, those days are becoming smaller and smaller, taking into consideration the state of the economy and how companies are struggling. So what we introduce, and something that is very fresh, very new in our country, but very regular in foreign countries like Spain, they will have Barcelona being owned by supporters. We felt, let's introduce a team that will be owned by supporters. Supporters will have a voice who must be chairperson. Supporters will have a voice who must be a coach. Supporters will have a voice on players that need to be signed. And supporters will influence the positioning of the team. So Swallows have gone through many difficulties in terms of ownership, in terms of debts, so we felt a new brand that will respond to the new generation, a new brand that will reposition the team and also attract new people, and that will have people that will say, this is our team, we can move with it. So that is why we felt, let's introduce this new brand called Swallows FC, deal with it, position it in the public space, and then move with it. We are quite excited. I mean, since we opened the shares on Wednesday, we've been inundated. I mean, we received almost 48,000 inquiries by yesterday, where people say, we want to be part of this product, we want to. We've signed also one sponsor that is willing to be our catering sponsor. So the brand is starting to move in. Tomorrow, we are meeting all our supporters across the country in Johannesburg, 1 o'clock at Johannesburg City Hall, just next to the Gauteng legislature, where with the supporters, we say, go on and plant the seed across the country and ensure that everyone is there.
Just for the purpose of clarity, when you talk about rebranding, you're not talking about a new brand altogether. No. You're just talking about taking Swallows from where it is now and bringing it back to relevancy again.
Definitely.
Let's talk about a reaction to this. How's the reaction been like?
No, it has been very positive. As I said, I mean, there was one investor in Freiheit yesterday invested almost 21,000 at a go. One person said that I believe in the dream, I believe in an idea. As I said, we've got 48,000 people that made inquiries to say, where do we get the forms? How do I buy the shares?
But why did it take so long, Panyaza? Why did it take so long to rescue Swallows as it was going under for years? Even while you were still in the PSL, Swallows was struggling for all those years until it gave in.
It's so true. It's so true. It took long because the problems were not easy. I can tell you now, yesterday, we also received an official letter from SAFA and FIFA to say Swallows must be relegated further. Which simply means no. We are at the SAB. They said we must be relegated further because we didn't meet our financial obligations with FIFA. So it was not easy. We had to persuade the courts. We have to persuade people that we owe. We have to persuade previous owners. We have to fly to Germany for the estate of Mr. Brock. We have to go to Switzerland to ensure that the legal papers are appropriately filed with the... So it was a difficult process.
And costly exercise.
And costly. I mean, I can tell you now, not less than 5.4 million have been spent just to wind up the old Swallows before we can refresh the brand. So
was that how much Swallows was owing? Or that's how much Swallows...
It still owes almost 197 million. So that is why we felt that let's pack that process and unleash our legal team to manage it, but re-establish an interim a body that can manage Swallows, which is called Swallows FC now. That will ensure that we gather all the resources and the support from whoever that wants to support us so that we can be in a position to come back as a team that is solid, new brand, attract new people, and ensure that it continues with the tradition. Remember, on the 10th of October, this team's supposed to celebrate 70 years. So we don't want come the 10th of October, we have no brand at all. So the hard work, as you said in our intro, in the next 3 months is for us to ensure that we've got a brand that we can deposit to South Africans. And this brand, as you said, it's supported by many people. Your parents, your sister, your uncle, there and there. Even if though you can support any other team, but we have one form of connection for the base. That is why our shares are not only confined to Swallows supporters, they're confined to all soccer supporters because The supporters in this country plant almost 14 billion in the soccer industry every year, in terms of tickets, in terms of accommodation, traveling, catering. So we are saying come, and it's very easy to have a share. I mean, very, very easy. The easiest way, you just send an SMS to this number, 45901. 45901, and then you send the text, that is the message. You just start with number 21.
Okay.
And then you write your name and your surname and the number of shares you need. And you send. And then you've got shares in the Moroka Swallows.
Look, let me take you a season back. There was a time in the 2016-2017 season where there was talk of Swallows buying Free State Stars status in the PSL, and that never materialized. And many people were left with their heart sore. You know, those who love Swallows, they were hoping to see their team in the PSL. Are we likely not going to see such happening?
No, not really, because we've learned from that mistake. We've bent our fingers, and that's the reason why we could not buy the team, because those people that were owed, they said, no, before you buy, pay us. And 197 million, we didn't have money at that time, and that is why the deal could not go through. And we still want to apologize to Swallow supporters, but we have learned. That is why we felt this thing of relying on one person, on relying on a family to run a team is not going to assist. International trends are showing that it's only when supporters are fully part of that particular team that the team prosper. I mean, you take your Barcelona, it's the best team in the world. So you have a product. I mean, you go to Turkey, you go to Germany, you've got many teams that are owned by supporters. So we are saying to ordinary supporters, let's revive this team. We are not relying to anyone. It's in our hands. How much we put on the table will determine whether we are buying a team in the PSL or we're buying a team in the NFD, or
which is where I was going with.
Or we consolidate. So it's in the hands of the supporters. It's no longer in our hands. But we have to have a strong financial muscle first before you can go to that decision. But previously, we rushed to the decision without the proper financial muscle, and we hit a speed hump, traveling at a high speed. So for now, we're saying supporters, those that support soccer, regardless of the brand, we believe that we can make history in this country to be the first team that is in the hands of supporters, to be the first team that can invest in the product that we so cherish.
Let's talk about the whole issue of buying status. We saw AmaZulu, the deal was successfully done, and AmaZulu will be playing in the PSL in the 2017-2018 season. Is it something that you'd be considering going forward? Like you said, of course, depending on how much you're able to raise. Is it something that you're looking at in terms of at least getting the team to the second division, where at least it's competitive and people will be encouraged to go and watch Swallows in action?
As long as it's still legal, we're going to take that option. We believe that's the best option for the brand. That's the best option also for the supporters. And that's the best option for the investors as well. The good thing is that we don't want to go there to be relegated again. We want to go there to compete. So the need for us to build a strong financial base is very important. We don't want to take that easy. So that is why we don't even want to rush. We don't want to say we'll play in the league tomorrow or we'll play in the league this season or next season. We say let's build a strong financial muscle. Let's not rush this thing. This is a big brand. All of us will love it. Let's not rush it. That is why tomorrow we are going to unleash thousands and thousands of foot soldiers to go across the country to sell the message, to say this is the best way to deal. That's why we are calling everyone who supports soccer, everyone who wants to invest in Moroka Swallows, everyone who's a Swallow supporter, come to Johannesburg City Hall tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We are gathering there to plan the way forward that will make this country proud and make this brand a new brand that all of us will be proud of.
Let's talk about the branches. Are you in touch with those branches, or since the team has went under, so are the branches?
Unfortunately, I'm still shocked at the number of branches that are still calling us. Even when we're in the ABC Motsepe, every team we're playing against, we had more supporters than them, even at their home games. So it's quite clear that there's still acceptance, but obviously we need to refresh the membership. We need to refresh the branches. All our branches need to go to their annual general meetings to elect new people. We'll be traveling across the country. As I said, we're in Gauteng tomorrow. Next week we are in Mpumalanga. The following week we are in Northwest. And then we're going to deal with the coastal sides of the team. So we'll be there every weekend until the first week of September. It's only after the first week of September we'll determine the financial muscle that we have so that we can be in a position to prepare and plan for the road ahead.
We're talking about the issue of finance and the challenges that, of course, everyone will be faced with given the debt that Swallows has. And you're talking about the Swallows lovers coming on board and buying shares, and that will determine whether you're able to afford to buy a status in the second division or in the PSL. What if now a big company comes on board and say, here we are, we support the idea, take us on board?
We need that. We need that. That is why we've got three categories of the shares. We've got shares that are supporters. We've got a middle share that are business people that wants to buy, and we've got big companies that want to buy. I mean, the share per supporter is 350. The business people is 3,500, and top companies is 18,000. So, but we have structured in a manner that no single person will influence the outcome of the team without others. So we need investors. We'll need sponsors. Yes, we have got one or two new sponsors that are willing to come on board to say, we'll take care of you. If you check the online registration to be a shareholder, and if you go to our website, www.revivingswallows.com, if you go to that website, you can see that we've digitalized Swallows. There is no team in this country that has a digital platform like Swallows FC now. So we can tell you where's our member, the street they stay, the address, when last did he interact with us. So we want to bring a new crop of supporters that is digital wise, that is digital savvy, but that also that can play a role in the team. So we need all form of investors. There's no way you can say I can only survive with supporters only. Yes, we're out of the 10 million shares that we've just opened the 6 million shares. The remaining 4 million, we are targeting big institutions, and big institutions have come to us to say, this is a new idea. We don't want to invest in a team that the money will go to the owner or somebody. This is a team that it will go to the supporters, and we want to be part of that, and we're going to engage with them.
Now after traveling the country, like you're saying, you'll be engaging with supporters on the ground. What is it that at the ultimate end you're hoping to get from all that?
We want 150 million. That's what we want. We want 150 million. On the basis of 150 million, we'll then be in a position to determine where we're taking the brand to. And we are quite convinced that decision will be taken by supporters before the 10th of October. Because the 10th of October, when we celebrate 70 years anniversary of this team, when we remember people like Thomas Husfuli Ngutlongwane, when we remember people like Kongo Maleban, when we remember people like Asim Nini, on the 10th of October, we'll make a big announcement that will either break or make the supporters happy. That's where we want to put the cake on.
As we wrap up this, what would you like to say to those who still are not sure about the idea? Because many will say, but they said the same thing last season. They said the team was coming on board and whatever and whatever. So going forward now, what is it that you'd like to say to them?
Remember, when Nelson Mandela was in jail, no one believed he would come out of jail. No one even believed that he would be the president of this country. There will be doubting Thomases in any other thing. But we say an early bird catch a fattest worm. So those that want to come later, it might be late for them. We want to say we'll catch the fattest worm because we are an early bird, and all the birds have been let out so that they can go out there, recruit everyone, have people to invest. I mean, if you can check our account now, the investment is across the country. Vryheid, Bloemfontein, Vryheid, all over. That's what we need, because the brand is a national brand. It's not a local brand. If we can do that, I can tell you, even those doubting Thomases will come later and say, we never thought this will succeed, because we want to succeed.
It's called the Dube Birds. Are people in Dube excited about it?
They must be. They have no choice.
Let's now talk to you personally. You are an MEC of Education in Gauteng, and you can easily forget about football and then continue with your life. But now, what is it so personal about you? Why the need to still be part of this team?
I supported this team 25 years ago before I was an MEC. I will support this team beyond my term as an MEC. My blood will remain maroon and white, and I'll go down with this particular team. There is no way that the rich history of this team can just be abandoned and be left. It's a contested history, yes, but let's safeguard it. We will only relax when we can hand over to a generation that will protect it and make it competitive. This team deserves to be amongst the best 3 teams in this particular country. This team deserves to compete with the best in Africa. There is no way we'll let this down. I can be an MEC. I've sacrificed literally all my social times so that I can deal with this particular brand. We'll hand it over to those that will take care of it and fly with it, because these birds deserve to fly again.
I was about to ask, will the birds ever fly again?
They will fly again. Mark my words.
There you have it. That was a staunch Moroka Swallows supporter at the MEC of Education in Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, saying the birds will fly again. Of course, moving